Okay, this is the third time that I have tried to record this now. I keep messing it up. I'm a little slow this morning. I was at Big Abbey 2 last night. Long day, long evening. Had a great time. If you weren't there, you sincerely missed out so much. Um, but we're watching the set, me against darkatma. I don't have the first 42 seconds. The VOD is still online, but I think that we can all live without those 42 seconds. I'm sure there's still plenty of stuff to learn from the rest of the set. As you can see, we both have fairly colorful outfits. The peach is at 26. I'm at 132. I'm in the corner. As you can see, this is not a particularly strong start for yours truly, but we're going to go ahead, watch this, see how it goes, and see what we can learn. So from here, right, I was pretty scared. I get grabbed. We can all guess where this is going. This is going on the side blast zone. I was off of a forward throw. Okay, so now that we got the first dock out of the way, let's actually start watching and see what's going on. So we got a turn up here. This forward air was maybe a little bit hopeful, but at the same time, I'm not really losing out on a whole lot for going for it. He did use his double jump, so I'm kind of curious where he's going to go. My guess is he just floats away from here. Let's see if I end up pursuing him. Yeah, so he does end up air dodging. A little weird that he put himself in that spot. This should give me a free hit, and I do, in fact, take my free hit. I think I like forward air a little bit more than the other options because the pushback is a little stronger. I guess I'm invincible, so I could have just nared, gotten a little bit more percent. I don't know if up air would have hit. That's potentially a risk worth going for if you can combo off it, but really I got no problem with this forward air. We're getting the peach to 39. Peach is on a platform. We are not. This is a good spot. I feel like running away here was not the move, especially now seeing that the peach go off stage, but having invincibility, also being at 0, and especially if I was on the ground and Peach is on the platform, it's not like they can down smash me. So I'm totally content to just hold down there. And I think ledge trapping Peach is like a really good way to neuter her. So giving up that position, maybe not the smartest thing in the world. And he's going to go ahead and throw that turn up. Now I have to dodge the turn up, which has given him that stage position back. So if we go back here and see when this turn up is being thrown, if I was less passive with maybe the needle charging, this could have been a shield drop into forward air, which actually would have been quite strong in that spot. So I'm already sensing perhaps a little bit more offense would go a long way. But let's see. So coming in with that forward air, I'm spacing that back air, and then I end up getting hit here. So here's maybe a spot. I am actually a big believer in holding down against Peach, which I think obviously is against the conventional wisdom, but I would just say get outside of the down smash range because very, very rarely are they going to dash into you and then down smash, right? Like that just seems unreasonable and also would take a while. So this is a spot, this could have been a CC grab, and instead it's not, and I also don't tech it, and I knew that even before it happened because I missed a lot of techs this set, which is just something to keep in mind that I wish I had access to these replays and kind of see, okay, am I pressing the button too late, too early, like what's going on there? I think that it's been interesting that I'm on these crash courses that I'm going to hit the ground, and I have just been hitting the button a little bit too late, and I think just preempting that a little bit more, would help me out because you can see I just get smacked here. That's a lot of percent, and now I'm off stage, and that's not a particularly good spot. So darkatma, really smart doing that nair there. I think that this is something that if I had taken my time a little bit more in my recovery or done something with like a wall jump back air, usually kind of a scrub option because they see it coming could have been good here, but I feel like this is the caliber of player where you have to take risks and like improvise on the fly if you're going to do well and like really use all the mix-ups that you have access to, and I think that this was just a little bit too safe of a recovery from me, that I could have done a little bit more, but I end up doing okay with this. So I really like that up B height. You can see it's almost frame perfect in terms of grabbing the ledge. Like if I had fallen a little bit more, I would have died. So it was really good to do that nice up B angle, and that's reading him just doing a neutral get up. So had he done a different get up, that would have not done me very well. So coming off a ledge, forward air, right? That honestly, this is weird. I don't know why this worked out the way it did. I think because he's just thinking he can throw out hitboxes all day and get away with that. right? Like if I had not done a neutral get up, the later hits of this down smash I think would have hit me. So this was good coming off the ledge. I think rising up air would have been a little bit better. You know, I'm very, again, content with just my slaps, and it's, the drift could have been a little better too, right? Just going back to ledge. And he ends up kind of putting me back on ledge, and I jump and make this a little bit more scary. Again, I throw these back airs out, but I think I'm not paying attention to where the Peach's position is before the back air comes out. Like, she would have had to run over to get hit by this. I think I could have just not done this back air and waited, and then this would be an opportunity for some pressure. But you can see now I got this one. Again, not really paying attention to, like right here, you can see here's where she starts to roll. So even at this earlier point in time, I can tell she's going to land right under me. This is maybe a time for down air or nair or something, and I'll just really quickly pump this into the DI calculator and see when this actually knocks a Peach down. But I'm going to guess at least nair would have knocked down. We're going to say clean. Stronger hits. And then we're going to say tap to crouch cancel. Yeah, that is Yes, that yeah, wow. Okay, so breaks knocks down at 39. So yeah, this would have been a time to use a different aerial and not back air. And I think I just had this idea in my head that, oh, back air is good against Peach. But that doesn't mean just throw back air out over and over and over. Like, there's still some nuance that you have to have to it that I was missing. And I think here's a spot where actually up air would have been a really supreme choice from me here. And this is again where I wish I had access to the input display, because I could see, okay, where was darkatma DIing when he gets hit by this back air? My guess would obviously be down. And then, like, how does that translate if I hit him with a different aerial, right? How would that have gone for me? So anyways, get this back air, at least get my shield up in time. And I think that getting out was a really smart choice. And then the jab, get this nice dash attack. Could have been a grab, but I think I had a small window because it was after, like, jabs. So I don't really mind doing that dash attack because, again, this is a fairly strong position for me. I think I just jump a little early. Let's see how I play this position. I actually think I do this pretty well. I have a really good habit, and here we go. I'm complimenting myself. That's rare. I do this forward air, and it's not intended to hit, but it's intended to bait. Like, I try to make it look like I'm overextended, and you can see that this forward air is coming. I'm going to guess I'm going to, like, run away in back air, and it's going to trade well here. Okay, so maybe not. Maybe I ran away too much. But you could see that that back air, I think, would have been pretty strong in, like, pressuring the Peach here. And I like keeping her in the corner, right? Like, in the same way that if she's on ledge, you can ledge trap her. Like, even here, she doesn't have, like, a great way out of this. If she wants to go to top plat, she's got to, like, float her way over, which takes a while. People also definitely underestimate how much inertia you have when you're doing float. That's a big word, so we're going to break that down for those of you who might be unfamiliar. They can't change direction very easily. So, like, once they start floating, they kind of pick up some speed. Like, they'll move faster, but it's actually really hard for them to stop and turn around. So it usually telegraphs where they're going pretty easily. So we can see again here, just giving up too much space, right? Like, they were so high, and I'm waiting for them to, like, run into me, and, like, that's just not going to happen. Like, and, like, maybe it would happen, but, like, it hasn't happened this whole set, so it's kind of silly for me to believe that all of a sudden it would start happening, right? I think I, perhaps in giving this player a little bit too much credit as to, you know, oh my god, if I overextend it all, they're going to, like, take me to the bank. Oh, I got to play so safe, right? All I got to do is spam this back air over and over and over again, and I guess who knows why it worked here, right? I got the little nod for that one. I'm really not sure why. I think it's the timing was pretty nice. And just using, like, that max range. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm here with my needles, right? Here comes the Peach. Forward air. Kind of seemed to end up giving him ledge. So let's see what could have been done here. I think some aggression here. I think especially seeing a down air is like jumping out and using nair. And I almost like nair more over fair because it the range just kind of pops out. So even if the disjoint isn't that much, like, I will gladly trade with one hit of down air to get a nair here. I think that would have been really strong. So again, the aggression not being exactly what it needs to be. I think I also maybe could have waited on platform here. Like, see, I just have this tendency to just jump over and over again. And we'll kind of see how much of a weakness that is later in the set. I actually like this down tilt, nice anti-air. He ends up going over it. Shielding is maybe fine if he was going to down smash. I think this is a habit I have from other Peaches, because anytime that you are in range of down smash, they will let it rip, and I usually can get a lot off of it. But Dark Atma is not going to do that. And I think that that's something that, I've never played him before, so it's kind of fair that I didn't know that, but that's like an adjustment to make for next time is sometimes being in down smash range, taking the risk and pursuing him rather than doing something defensive like being in shield. So I actually, nice reposition here. I could have maybe tried to poke something here, but I really like just taking center. Again, going too far, right? I could have stopped kind of lined up with the left side of the top plat, a little bit too much space, but like a back air then would have been really nice, right? Like you can just imagine if I was closer or higher, that would have gone pretty well. Instead, coming down with this back air, that is interesting that you have this kind of enough strength on this back air to send me the other way. So for one, it kind of looked like I could have been hit to the right, in which case this down tilt would have been fantastic. But pay attention to the drift, and I get sent just out of range of that down tilt. But I think right idea. I'll give myself kind of credit for that. I think also this is a spot I could have just waited and then maybe try to lunge out and grab, because I feel like Dark Atma, like you can see this whole time, he's not throwing out kind of panic options in disadvantage. And so I can kind of punish that by, hitting him hard. That ends up barely missing. I don't know what I try to do here. So let's see. I dash and then stop my dash and then dash again. Because he just says float in there. I don't know what. I think these are wave dash. I'm wave dashing in. This is hard for me to even think about. I don't know what's going on. First of all, I'm going to guess that Nair knockdown, but let's go ahead and see. So if I'm Peach, it's kind of tough because even with the float, like he can Nair into some other moves so fast that I might not even have time to down smash. But let's see, Peach Nair. I'm going to say actually am crouching. Okay, so that's tough. Yeah, so just out of range. Nair indeed knocks down, so that's some good knowledge from Dark Atma that had I just kept holding down, I would have gotten knocked down anyway. But maybe a spot for like a forward tilt preemptively would also have stopped a dash attack, or just backing up a little bit. But I don't really do either of those things, and then we get in this weird scramble. I at least get my shield up. Let's see how I react to down smash. Yeah, so again, expecting him to maybe do another one. Maybe like spot dodge or shield for some reason. He's not going to do that. I don't know why he would, but a lot of other Peach players do. So, new caliber of player, just got to be ready for new things. Throw the needles, not really getting a whole lot off of it. Like jumping, again, like we could just kind of be taking space. Back air comes in. Let's see my option to get out of here. I Nair. I'm going to guess that was supposed to be a Nair out of shield. Like, I'm a little preemptive with the jump. Part of life. Something to perhaps Uncle Punch or get familiar with how much stun all these moves have. Like back air, definitely a move that has more shield stun than you'd expect. But this turns into a shield grab, which turns into all this, and I even get shield poke there, right? You just can't hold shield forever. It's part of the game. So I think nairing out of there is really strong because Peach is not the character with the most mobility. So here's a weird spot. I'm grabbing ledge. I'm invincible. He's doing whatever the heck he's doing on Randall. This might be an interesting spot to just do an instant back air, but I figured that he would have something up his sleeve. So I try to just be patient and do this stall. He ends up just very lazily jumping over me, and I'm kind of another instance of maybe too much credit. I'm going to air dodge here. So I try to do this rising fair, but with the air dodge, he lands and has enough time to get his shield up, which turns into another hit for him, who's going to hit me off stage. You can see no double jump. That is a tough spot for me. So let's see again, right in between stocks. What's he doing? All right, he's pulling a turn up, and then now what? Right, okay, make sure it makes sense, right? He's gonna jump away. That's kind of fine. Like I can only run so fast from top platform, and then like I can kind of patrol him here, and like Yoshi's is small enough that it would be really hard for him to go over me. So I kind of like having this set up again. Needles maybe not the play right now, and then back air coming out a little bit too high. He's He's not in any rush to come in. Does it again there. This would have been a good spot to back air, but I don't. I think I could have done it preemptively before the down smash or reacted and seen the down smash and timed my back air for afterwards, but either way, nothing doing. This is also a spot he loves hanging out here. Bro, up tilt goes through this platform. Or like sniping him with an up smash if I'm feeling really ballsy and I want to aim for one of his toes, which I did against a Peach later and friendlies. I thought it was pretty cool. But, also catches them shield dropping. Some pressure from below would be good. Like I know I've been talking about kind of keeping center stage, and I have been doing that. But if he's just straight up going to turtle here, that gives me a little bit more incentive to kind of run in and do something. So doing that same back air he was doing earlier, I at least jump out of there this time. Needles on shield. He's just going to roll away. That was pretty smart. Again, the jumping is like limiting my mobility, right? Like I'm just not spending any time on the ground, and I feel like Sheik's speed is good because I could have pounced on this, right? I could have seen this roll, and like he could have gotten grabbed, and instead I'm jumping for some reason. It slows down my horizontal mobility. I get fared here. There's a lot of stun on that move. Roll, I like roll there, right? Because he has to read this roll to cover this. And interestingly, I think he read me rolling the other direction, right? So maybe a spot to just kind of have some balls actually and do something out of shield. But I don't really have a big problem with rolling. I think that's usually not very strong for him, where he has to at least guess 50-50 which way I'm going. And that's just assuming I never throw out a move. Like that's a mix-up that's not too bad for me, although I really don't want to get down smashed. So I'm going to jump again because I love jumping. Don't crouch cancel that, and then I shield after, even though it knocks me far away enough. I feel like it's kind of one or the other. Like if you crouch cancel the move, then you won't get sent very far away, and then it makes sense to shield. But if you don't crouch cancel the move, you actually will be hit out of the range of down smash. So it's scary, right? Because you get hit by that back air, you'll be right outside of that range, and you're like, I really don't want to get sucked into a move that can do 60%, but you know, that confidence of knowing, okay, like I'm going to be fine if I get hit by this back air, I won't be in range of the down smash, would have done me some good there. So I'm coming up, I'm jabbing, right? Thinking some option's going to come out of shield, trying to catch the roll, jumping again, and not holding down again. So I think that a Cody Schwab piece of advice against Samus is that you just kind of do aerials, and when you L cancel, you just hold shield, and it's usually pretty safe. I feel like, honestly, I play against Peach and Samus, like a lot of the game plan's the same, so that's something that, holding shield after I do an aerial, or rather just any defensive option, like I think holding down obviously would have worked there too against that back air, but not working. And then again, shielding when I'm getting hit by these soft moves, like outside of the range of where Peach can do anything. Like Peach can't hit me without running over to me, and if she's going to run over to me, she's maybe going to grab or something, so shield doesn't even make particularly too much sense there. Really great placement of his nair. I'm going to do this down air, and he's going to beat me to the punch. So he's just picking out all the spots that I'm going to attack, except for right here where I get this nair. So let's see. I'm going to try to close the distance. Right? Let's try to apply some pressure this time. Right? I want to also keep in mind, I really don't want to jump into a down smash. That would be awful. I like setting up this back air, right, where I can kind of... It's more safe against the down smash, right? It maybe will at least trade with one hit. Maybe it can win cleanly. But, the back air comes out so quick that I usually will at least trade a hit. So I don't really get risk putting in the blender. And it also covers if she's at these other spacings. So, again, setting up this same position. Darkatma going to do the same thing. Going to go high and probably just drop to ledge. Yeah. Okay. So I have not been kind of capitalizing on that. And I think that that's something that, especially when Darkatma jumps, is maybe move over so I can cover this option. And then maybe he'll try to come over top of me so that I can like even pump fake it. But he has managed to get to like a way safer position. He does this great float, expecting that back air, knowing that drift. He also plays Sheik. He knows both these characters really well. That would have been an interesting spot for me to have gotten my shield up, but he is just kind of hounding me. He's all over me in terms of position. I grab ledge here. Ledge dash. Let's fucking go. Was this actually a real... Let's see. Let's see where this Peach fair is coming out. So I don't know if this fair actually was coming out or not. This might have been... Actually, you know what? I need to see, because I needed to know how good my ledge dashes have been, because this doesn't look like a particularly spectacular ledge dash. If this is boring, just skip like 30 seconds ahead. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I was a little slow. I should have been hit, and I should have been trucked off stage. But you know what? Sometimes this works anyway. But I appreciate myself for going for that option. Up tilt also would have been really nice here. But we end up getting this forward tilt. Let's see what we can get off of that. Nice up air. And holy cow, it's actually going to kill. So I'm going to guess darkatma maybe DIing for a different hit. I'm going to throw this one on the calc real quick. Peach. And Peach was at, what we're going to say, like 100 before the hit. And then we're going to go get out Sheik up air and see how this goes. Up air, clean. What the? Oh, crouching. Low. Okay. So that actually is guaranteed. Wow, Peach does die really early. That's something about these characters with a low fall speed is they die off the top really early. So like Samus obviously will live forever if you hit her off the sides, dies off the top really early. So up air kills either way. I'm glad that I stuck with that move choice. I was able to do it. Good on me. Gonna get my needles. I also love that I'm really just this hat, right? You can't really see some of my face, and sometimes even my head like ducks down, and I'm really just this hat versus this human being. I'm running around. Ooh, I like this, right? I dash past. It was maybe a little dangerous, but got him to commit, and now I'm out. I'm safe. I have escaped from the Peach invincibility, and now we can play the game again. So I'm going to go ahead, charge the needles. That would have been an interesting time to maybe throw them. Maybe not. But now I see the Peach there. I'm threatening with this up air. This is a spot where it looks like you can shark him, but I'll tell you what happens is they hold down, you up air them, they tank the hit, and then they down smash you. So you have to be pretty particular. What I'm thinking I should do, turn around and jump maybe here, so I won't be in range of the down smash, but I can throw a back air out if needed. So he's actually going to fall all the way through, which is interesting. And I try to do this kind of back air running away, but here's the other thing is I can't nickel and dime this guy forever with back airs, right? Like I didn't really get many grabs this set, and I think that would have done me a lot of good. Shy Guys is maybe why I canceled that. We're in a weird spot here. He's under me. He can actually pressure me, and I'm jumping over it, which is nuts. So here's a forward air. Now the party should get started, right? Like let's see a tilt. No, that was really fast actually. Oh, it's because he's at 0. Okay, so something to be aware of. He's at 0. Holding down, I think, would have been a lot better there, because otherwise, at the higher percents, tilts would have done well, but at 0, you hit a Peach, like they're probably just going to instantly nair you again. It's frame 2. Something for me to think about, being aware of that percent. Throwing those needles, not going to do a whole lot. It just doesn't work against solid players who know how to kind of use that timing. But good recovery again until the interesting forward air again. But I do want to say that I am calling out this Peach going up on ledge early, because I know if they don't do that, they can't really punish me when I go to stage. So good on me for having the bravery really to go to ledge in those spots, and also up being in a particular way where I fall for a little while before I grab ledge. But I'm going to go ahead and shield this down smash. A little slow there, and then you can see that one clanks. So had I done this a little sooner, let's see when I actually was probably out of shield, is probably, I'm going to guess here, right? You can see this looks like a regular shield again. Interesting, I actually dropped shield before I do this, so this could have been way faster. Honestly, maybe I should just play on box, but yeah, this is good to know, because I feel like I got hit by like 3 hits of down smash, and this is still a pretty big opening. So I think this is something I'll probably Uncle Punch, and I'll write this down now. This is a particular thing that I should go practice, is punishing that Peach down smash out of shield. And there's a lot of different moves to punish it with, so knowing like which one to use would be important. But you can see it clanks here. My shield is weak from the first down smash, hence This one actually ends up poking. I don't think I can light shield there because it would just break my shield. So good awareness, not enough speed from me. I would have had to jab or just throw out another. Actually, jab probably wouldn't have worked either. I probably would have just had to keep throwing out down smashes in that spot. Or roll. Roll is also frame 5 to get out of that spot. But nice air dodge from me onto Randall. That felt pretty good. And going low, I just going low is really strong. Now I notice the Peach is also going low. I'm like, that's pretty weird, right? I don't think Peach should be doing that. So I do this nice rising back air, just big old move to kind of trip her up a little bit. Now I'm holding ledge. I don't know. I feel pretty strong about this. So what they talk about on commentary is that darkatma has the patience to know to wait, because could be like a really bad spot for him where he needs to up B. He needs me to not be on this ledge, right? I'm also at 108 and I can roll, so I can be invincible for a very long time. Float lasts 5 seconds. This is a spot where I could get a kill at 20% from right here. And I end up rolling because I'm a little chicken, and I think that is the way it goes sometimes. But frankly, there's a lot of things I could have done here. I also could have just traded this out, right? I could have just dropped and fared and just tried to, knock him down far enough that it's like we both die, but, you were at 20% and I was at 108. And I know the stock count, that would certainly be bad for the stock count, but like maybe that's something I just got to accept if I want to win this game. I feel like I could also just wait on the ledge and like really try to time specifically when the Peach is going to do that up B. I could also do some sort of crazy like Sheik killer option here. But I think just using this invincibility to stall again or do like some sort of hit. Actually, a hit is tough because I think that it's a mix up between putting it near the ledge and going down there. So I don't know. This is a tough problem, but I think actually doing a refresh would have been interesting because he would have had to do that instant timing, which I think that, in hindsight, he probably wouldn't have done. And otherwise, it would have just given me so much more time being invincible on the ledge that this would have put him in a particularly tough spot. But you can see I roll pretty instantly. He kind of does a nair here, which again, if I had just done an invincible ledge refresh, this would have been like a really bad spot for him. And then he's able to barely up B and make it back. But he's still ledge trapped, right? And maybe, again, giving him a little bit too much space here. He can't ledge dash, so it's actually fine to hang out here, where it's normally not against a lot of other characters. I'm also, these wave dashes are not crispy. They are not frame 1. But I'm kind of patrolling that side of the platform, trying to keep him out. And then he comes in. I'm trying to do this fair on reaction, but it was really smart of him. Because you can see I just did this, right, at this range. And so he's kind of recognizing that. And he's like, I'm going to try to punish that if you do it again. If you jump, I'm going to take you to the bank. So I think that's after the first one. Jumping with some drift backwards and maybe trying to bait out that down smash, or just staying on the ground, or using a move preemptively, right? If I had just naired, done an early aerial the second time instead of trying to do it on reaction. I feel like I do have a tendency, perhaps more than most players, perhaps not, to use moves more repetitively or kind of techniques, and then I can clip by the turn up. I tried to do a very low up B. I think that was about as low as I could have gone, so really great turn up placement. Not a whole lot you can say about that. Hail Mary, try to hit the turn up. That's not going to happen. All right. Last stock. Again, the needles, we don't need it. There's no reason to be messing around with the needles, right? Let's play the game. I guess if he had jumped, maybe it would have put him in a slightly worse spot, but like I have invincibility. Let's actually use the invincibility. Like we'll needle later when we actually have to worry about getting hit. But again, just playing really safe. I don't know what was supposed to happen there, but I'm kind of letting him get a lot off of this. And then I missed whatever my option was there, so I ended up getting down smashed. Again, just something to go into Uncle Punch with. I nair out there. Let's actually see how fast that was. So coming across. So I think just because it wasn't instant, let's see, it was 1 frame late. Maybe would not have hit anyway because Peach kind of ducks. But also not a short hop nair, which is tough. I could have naired on the way down as well. That nair out of shield, again, needs work. So it's a lot of these technical flubs that I feel like are really killing me, although darkatma are really good about also covering, both of these spots where that was a really good position to kind of cover both roll in, roll away, like really the whole platform. Going for the forward air there. and I get this nice. See, I'm just jumping again. And here's the thing: is that's just not going to work enough. So I think sometimes I just need to have faith or really bet on myself. I guess even if I'm not that confident, that sometimes when I hit these moves, we just need to start throwing out tilts or something else fast, right? Maybe a fair, or some other move, because otherwise I'm kind of just making like several reads that they're going to do some weird scramble option over and over again, and you can see that they can kind of just wait that out. That turns into a problem. Anyways, back air, that's fine. That's probably going to allow me to recover. No problem. If the peach was really fast, I think they could have made it to ledge. Doing that same forward air. I think they're doing a good job of clearly like baiting me by being near the ledge, making it seem like it's a good spot. That was probably supposed to be a forward air instead of forward smash. And they actually jabbed me out of the nair stun, which is nuts. I go to platform with that. Okay, this time I'm up airing because they're close. Doing the fair way too early. Uh-oh. Nice back air. Let's keep the pressure up somehow. Not necessarily holding shield. I think I was totally good to up tilt there. Right, even if they fell, I think that was something that probably was in my favor. I'm kind of nickel and diamond here, and like we got to go for bigger fish sometimes. Okay, again, just staying on the ground would have done me a lot of good there. And I'm flying through the air. Here comes this turn up. Spark always likes to say that you should always recover low. I think that's honestly mostly true. I just have a habit of not necessarily doing it. Let's see how this goes. This one I probably go up, right? Reacting to him going to ledge. Interesting spot dodge because again I'm expecting an opposite attack. I actually had enough time to shield, so I should have just stuck with that. So here's a spot where, again, I'm not fast enough to really punish it, but it ends up kind of turning into something good where he doesn't hold down there, and I end up getting a grab here. So I was watching this earlier, and I was thinking about this, right? He's at this 80%. I kind of licking my lips for a down air here because it works against a lot of peaches, and it would turn into an up air, and it would probably kill, but I feel like this guy is good enough that he's not going to let that happen. So you can see that maybe for tech in place, maybe not tech roll in, which I could have maybe covered something else, but I think this covers at least 2 out of 3, maybe not no tech, maybe no tech, honestly, if they get popped up. But I even end up hitting them with like the very end of down air, but the issue is that, you know, he just holds out because he can see it. It's so telegraphed. So next time I think we got to like RTC or, you know, do something else off of this. Because I kind of go out there, you can see like, I can't really get there. So the peach, nice and high, sharking opportunity. He's kind of done the same thing every time where he just drops near the ledge here. I call him out this time. I guess I tried to do that a little earlier. I also thought this might kill anyway, but obviously I was hoping for a tipper. Does not work there. And now I'm feeling really ballsy. I have no idea how high the peach actually is. And they go ahead and air dodge. And then this is funny. They actually, I think I end up accidentally like edge canceling that, which is crazy. But, you know, make it out. And you can see even darkatma was pretty impressed by that. Shield in this thing. And then, you know, that was supposed to be an air. And then I end up getting jab grabbed. And that's just a tough spot. We're off stage. Would I get hit by a turn up perhaps? Yeah. So that's game one. Somehow the second game is way longer. I'm thinking. I go city. So I was thinking here, we go back to Yoshi's. I usually like Yoshi's. He just beat me on Yoshi's. But I am also of the opinion, it's kind of a scrub opinion, but there's a lot more variance in Stadium because of the nonsense transformations. So I was like, you know what? We can try to spice it up a little bit. I also feel pretty good against Peach on Stadium too, you know? And I like being able to do that no impact land on the side plats. So let's try Stadium, right? Like, let's see how this goes. This guy is certainly going to know all the cheese, but maybe, well, I guess this is very hopeful and not very based in a sound strategy. But in any event, we end up here. I charge needles. I have a tendency to just give, I'm a little too passive off the go. So this Peach does this here. I maybe would have got, I'm not, let's see actually if this would have, okay. So maybe this would have traded which is whatever. But this is also something where I can jump in this spot and kind of read the down smash coming out and just fast fall and then like try to just squeak like a hit in real quick after, right? Because I'm not punishing these down smashes. Here's a nice point. Ooh, I turn around for some reason before. And then I jump, kind of setting up. You know, fair wall is fine. Again, just a little bit too much space. Like, kind of the only way that darkatma is going to get hit is if he just charges in. And he kind of knows not to do that. So he's taking his time. It makes it really hard for me to generate any actual offense here. Again, like, I'm expecting him to just drop through the platform, but he has not been doing that. He's been staying above the plats the whole time. So now he's going to finally... Okay, and here's something. I'm just fooling around and moving. Sometimes I can just set up shop and wait, because this would have maybe been a spot to have come in and done something there. I get nared off the side. Nice fall and fair. I think that's fine. He knows to kind of juke it out, but I don't really care because I'm safe anyway. I try to cover the plats. Now I'm on the plats and he's below me. Those jumping on the platforms has actually worked out for me because I feel like Peach can't get up high enough. Like her jump isn't high enough. She has not been calling that out. So it's worked out okay for me. So I'm just setting up this fair wall again, fair wall again. So here's the thing, right? I'm playing really defensively, and I think that's the way to go. I'm giving up certain opportunities that I could get a little bit more of a punish. Not so great, but darkatma is having a pretty tricky time coming in. You can see even this soft back air, like I'm kind of out of the range. I back up. I didn't necessarily need to do that. He's going to kind of nair over me. I actually end up, that's pretty nice. So let's see that again, right? I hold down, buddy. Let's just work. Crouch cancel. Gonna end up grabbing, which is strong. Let's see what I get off of this. Nice up air, and I fast fall it, and I L cancel it, and then I do nothing. So we're getting there, right? It's kind of tricky to do that whole sequence of up air, fast fall, whatever. But now is the opportunity where here, you know, got that edge guard. If I just kind of been a little bit more alert and less panicky, right? Another grab, but this is kind of fine. I like this nair. Maybe I could have got down smash, but I felt like it was fairly safe. He ends up shielding after and then rolling. He's setting up shop again. I think he's like really wants me to fall on top of him. I'm not going to do that though, right? And I cannot pounce on that landing fast enough. The jabs come out. Could have just had a little bit more patience. Great roll. He starts to overextend, and I think here, you know, if I can just hold my ground, which I'm not doing, I'm giving the ground up. That would be really strong. So the needles is just a really weird option here. Like there's very little, especially if I full hop, there's just very little situations that actually helps me in. Here I throw some needles. It just kind of scares him. I'm behind him, so I feel like I have pretty good pressure because I'm able to like mix in that shield there, and he can't grab me because he's facing the wrong direction. This down tilt comes. He tries to down tilt me back. Grab would have been great there. It worked the first time. We could have just kind of kept that up. What happens here? So I back up. He kind of comes in, and then he extends a little bit with a dash attack. So I think something else is like when he does land with these aerials, he's really not doing it to hit me. It's one of those baiting aerials, right? People talk about type 1, type 2, which are terrible names. It's so undescriptive, but type 1 being aerials that aren't intended to hit and just intended to create like a false opening for your opponent to try to pounce, and then you end up kind of reversaling them. So I'm seeing a lot of type 1 aerials, which is like when those come out, you don't have to worry about them hitting you, but at the same time, like don't fall for them. Like they're not creating openings or trying to create these spots where you come in when they're actually prepared. So this is a good F tilt. F tilt is a move that works against their falling forward air. It's just got to be timed pretty well, and there it was, leading into an up air as well. And I like this. I'm taking to the plats, right? Don't need a needle. Interesting call with the up smash here. Like this was a good read, just not on the position. So I think maybe had I charged a little bit forward, this could have hit, and that would have like probably killed, I'm going to be honest, on Stadium, especially considering, you know, I don't know how they're DIing. Let's go ahead. I'm going to throw that one on the calc real quick. But I'm a big fan of up smash. I think that it's a cool move. And see, before 79. Wow, this kills mega early. Even with like optimal DI. Holy cow. Okay. Yeah, that kills at 61. So this is something. I mean, that would have killed even with optimal DI. Um, that would have been extremely strong. And I will say, I think it's one of my strong suits is being able to find these. So right time, not quite the right spacing, and I think that I could have kind of gone for it all with the tipper there rather than just the single hit, like the softer hit, because that really doesn't do a whole lot. So I'm kind of pretending like I can do something here. I can't, but these needles end up being really good because it pushes him away. He has to air dodge back in. I don't know. If I had a peach down smash there that hits on both sides, I could have used it. I could have nared, but I end up kind of going back to plat. I also love this platform movement. So I'm not like a platform movement guy. I really wish I was better at it. You can see I'm jumping this way, I turn around, but then I wave land off, and then I nair. Is like, that's just great pressure. Like, he even had his shield up. Look, he's nodding, right? Like, if he's nodding, I'm probably doing something pretty good. I have totally become a hat at this point. This is just great pressure. And I think that this is perhaps in my head now, another reason to go to Stadium is that I can use this side plat really well to ledge trap Peach. And I think that's a really strong option versus on Yoshi's. I don't nearly have that as much because if she's where she's at now on Yoshi's, she also has access to the side plat where she doesn't have that on Stadium. So I'm going to kind of throw a needle here, but I'm just doing the same runoff fair. I'm going to keep doing it until the cows come home, right? Chiefly because it's working, but also because it's really strong. And so darkatma going to fall here, and I kind of let that happen. So could have grabbed ledge and done maybe something off the ledge, or could have been a little bit more aggressive, falling outwards, doing like a double jump back air there. But I think I'm also content to not have him go over me and just ledge trap. I don't think there's like a huge problem with that because the ledge trapping's been going pretty well, right? I'm at 47%. I don't want there to be some crazy situation I get reversaled. Here's another interesting spot, right? Creative way to get off the ledge, sure, but I'm actually kind of ready. I'm in a position I can punish this. And you can see I start to forward air. The issue just being like I fast fall it too. I don't think I needed to do that, or I could have just done nair. It would have been like 3 frames, and then no hit comes out. So this is something that really can hurt you. I would say go watch your replays and look for this. You throw out an aerial, and then you land before the hit can even come out, because then nothing happens. You do this whole big laggy animation for just no reason, and like it can be times that you'd get a hit, and especially with certain aerials that can mean so much, right? Kind of do or die situation. So then the Peach is going to spot dodge as I jab. They're avoiding that. I'm worried about the down smash now. I go in, go out. He's probably going to try to come hit me now. I, for some reason, jump, and then my forward air is just faster. So that was pretty lucky. Setting up my little Sheik triangle here, right? Get the needles going. I'm just throwing these moves out. I really thought he wouldn't be hit by those needles, which is why I did that forward air. I was expecting a roll in that I could have covered. And then I was expecting him to just magically teleport to like right here for just no reason. Whoops. No, I don't know. I think this is still like I'm not reacting to what's happening, and in my head he's still rolling in, and I'm trying to cover that in some way. But in any event, I like that I'm not like, this is my line. Like this gray line is mine. Like, this is me, and I'm not gonna let him pass this. And I feel like eventually he's got to try to extend into that area. Like he has no room to pull turnips or do anything here. And eventually when he extends into this area, I'm gonna be really favored to get this last hit. So here we go. He's gonna do that forward air and runs away. So I'm doing a good job of kind of maintaining the space, but not actually capitalizing on it. And then for some reason, I kind of see him jump, and I think I can just put that out there. That is not the case. And then I jump again. Like I could just grab him, but I don't. But we make it over here. We actually tech this one. Excellent. Kind of slide off. We could have just fast fell, and we missed the waveland there. We're just giving up all kinds of space, but it ends up that air dodge in the drift. I am at this perfect range for this down tilt, and now I can try to follow this up. And I kind of know, okay, I can't hit him the first time, so let's see what he ends up doing. And soft hit of back air is not what we were looking for. So kind of good idea to go with that back air. But I also figured that he would drift more to the right to kind of escape rather than the left to kind of come down. So what are you going to do? But maybe there's a world I up air there some other time. I think this was fine because I think he was going to go, or like him going inside would have been a little bit more scary, or I just didn't think he was going to do it. So here again, using some of that platform movement, but then just stranding myself in the air without a double jump. Dashing around, giving up a bunch of space. So let's see if we watch him during this section. He's kind of doing these aerials, coming down, aerial coming down, backing up. So I think if I had just overshot one of these landings with a grab, like really any of those, that could have been like a guaranteed kill, obviously. And at the same time, like, I guess I'm not in a position where I'm forced to run in and grab, right? Like, I can play patient if I want, but I'm too proud of the lead I have, and I'm not taking risks that could make my lead even bigger, right? I'm like, oh, I'm safe. Okay, he's one hit away, and I'm at 60%. Oh, I'm safe. I'm going to keep playing safe. It's like, we shouldn't leave money on the table just because you're already in a good spot, right? If you're playing good, you should still aim to play better. So I'm waiting for him to do something stupid. He hasn't done it so far, so now I finally overshoot. Dash attack doesn't really make a whole lot of sense at this percent, right? Kind of bait him out, and now finally, right? So here I'm going to give him a pretty wide berth, wait, and then I'm going to come in and catch that overshoot. And now I'm like, all right, he is probably pretty dead here. So I should have gone for an up air there, although I think actually forward air ends up killing anyway here because the percent is so high, as you can see it does, but that will end up biting me later, right? And I think I kind of recognize that either. But again, wish I could see my input because that might have actually been supposed to be an up air, and I would have seen that if I could see my controller input. So running around, you know me, I'm just running, get my laps in, get my steps in. Peach comes down, I pull the turn up. I'm like, all right, sure. I run up and shield. I guess I'm expecting some sort of really offensive option. I don't think I really needed to do this. But here we go, coming down with the back air. That's an opportunity to grab, and I will take that, right? That's me all day. The Peach goes up. I'm thinking up tilt here. Instead, I do up smash, and it totally misses. So I think up tilt would have connected here had I done that fast enough. I think I hesitated. It's like, if you're going to do this up smash, you have to do it as a read and not a reaction. And I kind of couldn't pick, and that ends up kind of costing me. So having kind of written down, okay, what is my game plan against Peach? When do I do what? And really committing hard to whatever I'm going to do wholeheartedly would go a long way. He's going to do this nair, and then he's going to grab out of it. It's pretty crazy that you can do that, but it's just the way that Peach works. I get forward thrown. Let's go ahead and skip ahead. So I end up jumping over him. He goes really low. I do this nair, and the fast fall actually ends up hurting me. Is interesting. So had I not fast fallen, I would have caught this air dodge with a bit of a hit, but maybe that wouldn't even have helped me. He's going to go ahead and hit me a bunch with down smash. This is a spot I totally could hit him. So I try to get really greedy and do like a whole needle grab thing. I feel like I honestly could have just waited or like run up grabbed. But he rolls behind me. I shield this. Oh wow. What happened here? Okay, so I think I try to wave dash into, like, I try to wave dash away, but you can see I get caught up on that lip. I didn't know that happened. But anyways, now I'm going to, come out and try to come out the gate swinging here. And, dash attack at this percent, maybe not too wise. It would have been better to be a grab. But he's actually going to call me out here. Like, he sees the way I'm in the corner. I'm at higher percent. He's like, I'm gonna do something about that. I'm like, oh shit, right? Especially because I have a lead. I'm kind of playing a little bit too conservative. And then here, you can see I jump and then up B. I think had I just up B'd off the rip, this could have been pretty good. But I mean, it's a Peach. Like, you're kind of expecting this, right? I also could have fast fallen and then done the up B, but that ends up sealing out my stock. So Peach is gonna go high. Like, I really don't want her to have center stage, so that's the area I'm gonna control. I jump into the turn up. That was a little silly. I'm going to let the Peach down smash here, but I don't quite give it enough time, which is sad. At least I don't get hit by whatever that was supposed to be. Here we go. I'll trade that, right? Let's see. 21 and 10, right? And then we hit this back air, and now we're both at the same percent. I am more than happy with that, right? And they're in the air, so I go up to the windmill. I'm trying to think about trying to do some cheeky windmill stuff, but this guy, he has been around the block before, so he's not going to let me do that. And then again, just jumping out at everything. And again, I'm going after the after image, right? He's on the platform, so where am I aiming? Aiming for on the platform. And he just knows to bait me in and kind of move around that in such a way that, I'm not beating up on myself here. I think that, like, obviously at many levels, that's how we kind of get trained, because often when people are in an area, they're not fast enough to get out or not smart enough to move themselves in a position that would actually help them. But, if you want to get to that next caliber, you have to be really preemptive with when you see someone, you're not attacking where they are, but where they're going to be. We back air. They come in with this fair. I do this nice job backing up, kind of creating the situation, throw the needles. The issue is that she's going to jump over them. Okay. Throwing again this back air. Again, an opportunity. Oh, nice spot dodge that time. Okay, so that was clever, right? Doing this on purpose to kind of bait me. So there's perhaps a spot to mix things up. So there she goes. Forward throw. Ooh, it does end up connecting into the dash attack. That's something I maybe could have jumped out of that. Setup. I'm going to end up recovering. This is Peach. Peach is very slow, so I'm able to get my shield up in time, and then I'm able to jump and down air very hopefully, and then I'm able to escape. He had a window there. I actually like that he didn't go too crazy. He was looking for me to do something that he could punish pretty freely, and he's kind of reestablishing his lead here, as you can see, keeping me in the corner, keep me in the corner. Yeah. We both try to grab and we miss, but now I have center, which I like, so I don't really mind that I did that. And then we nair out. It actually worked that time. Again, short hop would be a little bit more beneficial. I nair this way, expecting him to land on the plat. He does that weird edge guard, or air dodge. Kind of get myself in the corner here. Here's a spot to maybe hold down, and I do. Oh, and the grab does not quite connect. So I think this is something, okay, when I get up to those middle percents, you got to start doing other stuff off of the crouch cancel, because the range, it just sends you far away enough. So let's see, I get forward thrown. It's usually a pretty boring cutscene. So he's going to use that turnip to turn around. Then he's going to put this back air out. Then he's going to get burnt. So I did notice that darkatma, you can see a shake in his head. He definitely wasn't picking up on the fact that, I was not going to let him just come off and back air me. I think he was a little too aggressive with that. And I think if he asked me for tips, that's what I would have said. This works on a lot of people. Does not work on darkatma. Sometimes they just fall on it. And again, trying to get that super early kill, which that particular spot I didn't like, but I like that. I'm still, keeping that up smash on my radar, because this is a round when it really could start to, I guess, kill. I think kill. So here we go. So he's been doing this over and over again. And I finally wise up, and we're saying, all right, I'm not letting you dash back anymore. You're coming with me. Right, here we go. I'm going to down throw. And I love going for down air here, because I'm always trying to hit this into an up air and hit them off the top. They end up not even hitting the platform, and they do this crazy air dodge at the end. But I'm like, you know what? Hey, this is a fucking great range for me to back air. I'll back air. A little slight nod from him. Throw the needle, trying to catch this and reduce that height. That's fine. Right here, I think was really good against setting up my wall. I don't think that forward thing was intentional, but either way, that falling fair, I don't think there's too much to be done. I guess he could have naired or something, but I don't think he was trying to nair. What was he trying to do? Let's see. All right, because he falls here. Yeah, if he did some sort of instant nair, I don't even know though, because Peach has such a slow jump squat. So, anyways, great spot for me to pressure. Right, I cover almost everything, and then now 99%. It's evened up in percents. If you were on Slippy, you'd hate to see a desync right now, because I got Peach in an absolute balls position. Holding the ledge a little bit too long, so what's going to happen? Bonk. Yeah, that's tough, right? I kind of reel back here, not too proud of the kind of emotion, letting it get to me, if you will. I think there's also something that if I'm going to throw out a back air, I might as well just also tech, right? Why not? Either it does nothing, or I actually end up getting the tech, and I could have maybe recovered here. So that's a spot that looked really good, and then ended up being not so good. So also, keeping in mind Peach was slow, maybe doing a ledge refresh could have gotten some mileage there. But I'm like, okay, this Peach is at 107. We got him back in the corner again. Let's make some magic happen. So coming in with the forward air, I'm just going to set up my little nonsense on platforms again, run off back air, because I see when you start to see the roll, you know when they're going to end up. And I'm like, okay, I certainly know that this back air is going to be safe. And then I'm trying to overextend again, because that's what they've been doing, is that backing up. So good on me for catching that again. This dash stack, cool, but not a whole lot doing, if you know what I'm saying, right? Like we didn't actually get too much off of that. And then Peach is gonna land on this platform, right? I'm just kind of setting up all this weird stuff, a little bit too much drift, and that instant back air is gonna go ahead and trade. Let's see what happens. So Peach is still alive. Lands. I'm keeping my little triangle up. I'm not letting her in. Right, I'm keeping her in the ledge. I see this. I jab the wrong way. I escape that. Right, I feel like in the corner, Peach is actually playing a little bit more desperate, and that's pretty good. I'm jumping out of everything. I think I'm just expecting Peach to down smash, and like that just has not been happening. But I've been trained to do that a lot because other Peaches will down smash very often. So again, like the Peach is whiffing. I'm just not finding good ways to capitalize. I'm kind of doing these same aerials over and over and over again. So there, nice. Get that CC, get that down tilt. Oh, and we miss the platform landing, but it ends up working out for us because he missed. He did this really weird air dodge, and like I could up air here, but I don't even know if I did this back air on purpose. I would have to go check the thing, but I think I did because I kind of expected like it's pretty obvious to DI in, and I wanted to cover that, and so I did. So here, we're just running out the clock on the invincibility here. Oh, I kind of realized as soon as this turn up starts to get pulled, I'm like, I can't obviously punish this because he's invincible, so I'm just going to run, get my center stage. That's fine by me. Oh, and I even power shield it. Okay, that's fucking god tier gaming. I love that from me. But staying in the corner a little bit. Right, now I've worked my way back to center. The no more invincibility. That up tilt a little bit too early, but I get out of there, right, and I set up my little Sheik triangle again, the needles, and then I realized, oh crap, that just didn't quite catch him. Then it's this weird nair. I'm staying in shield. I'm thinking something crazy is coming, and then I end up rolling there. That was maybe on accident, but he's calling out these rolls, and that turns into a real problem for me. So I do this weird tech thing, and then I'm like, oh, what's going on? And I just get fared. That's tough. I guess being aware of the transformations and in worst case scenario, especially if they're in the air, just hold shield. I'm back. I don't know why he didn't cover me going over there. I felt like that was pretty obvious, but alas. Again, just catching the rolls. So let's see what was going on here. Coming in, that descending pressure, jab, and, I was actionable. I had time to do something. I just did not. So this is a tough spot, but darkatma, this edge guard has just been not that strong from what I've seen, but get the double poof. Second poof ends up getting some percent. I missed this grab here. If I had dashed, I probably would have gotten it. But I can set my little Sheik triangle here. I do this back air, and then I get the heck out of dodge, but not out of dodge enough to actually get a reversal. Now I'm getting pressured in this weird little corner. That's probably not good. Let me get out of there. Right? Nice back air, and I'm like, okay, here's my win condition. He comes down here and does something stupid, and I down smash 4 times, and then I up smash, and then he's dead. So I get hit once here, and I'm like, that wasn't so smart. Then I get jabbed, then I nair, right? We're spamming buttons at this point. I'm trying to tech anything, right? I get hit up even higher. I'm like, okay, the pit fight so far has not gone too successfully. He's got a turn up. Here he comes. I'll jump over this turn up, and then I guess just drift away. So he comes down with this forward air. But I'm like, look, as long as I run into I will be okay because I can tech, and then I end up teching. So he's chasing me. This is like Scooby-Doo where like the doors are opening and closing and they're running in and out throughout the whole hallway. I just keep going back to this spot, right? This was to try to catch some sort of landing, but here I'm rolling the corner, right? As long as I got the pit to my back, right, I'm feeling pretty good. So right here I down smash. I'm like, perfect. Now it can start, right? So then darkatma is going to tech here. I'm like, I can apply some pressure with up tilt, right? Forward air, nice, right? Like this was my plan. We got him in the pit. I'll take another 40% if I can get him up 40%, because then we're both at kill percent. It's not like he has a whole lot of confirms, other than I guess forward throw. So here, another good spot. He's going to get up attack. I wait that out. I'm feeling pretty good, right? This pit fight, honestly, like, even though we've kind of taken the same amount of percent, like, that's no problem by me. So I end up teching that one too. And then I'm thinking, can I do something about this? And then the pit starts to transform. And I miss my wave land because the platform moved. So that's tough. But you know what? You got to keep an eye on that there timer, because the stadium will indeed transform. And when it does, it will also transform back. Now I'm dead, but he's at 80. I've been in worse spots. Hopeful Needle. Run over, kind of set up that wall again. So I can see, all right, he's going high. Let me try to, let me stop. There we go, perfect. I want to stop him from going high. So now he can't go high. Now he's charging at me. This is where I make my money, right? Back up with a little wave dash. Great forward tilt. Super nice spacing, right? I'm like, I just will not let you get to center. Because the other thing is, if he rolled in here, I think even after this forward tilt, I would have enough time to punish and do something else. So I think that might have even been a shield poke or something crazy. But now we forward air, and I'm like, crap. If only I could have hit him a little harder. Like, I didn't have a good move to combo there. I think, frankly, forward air is like the best thing I can do. I know people will be like, oh, Nair gets better percent. No, I think the angle that forward smash gives you, it reduces some of that height, makes it a little easier, even though he kind of goes over me. But again, like, I just don't want to let him come back to this area. So I'm setting up again. I see this air dodge. I've noticed a lot of these recoveries, right? He has been pretty committal. So I think I back up just a little bit too much, because otherwise this would have been great. Right, he does this air dodge, and I could have just totally back aired him off of this, or even do like a no impact land grab. This is going like fine, right? Now I'm kind of speeding up, kind of feeling myself, and I decided to put the pressure on, but so does he. So here I'm finally thinking, all right, he's floating, let me hit him, and no dice. Nair would have been a fantastic option there to scoop him, but not gonna happen. And then I get ferret again, womp womp. Peach is slow. Boys and girls roll out. And so I go really high because I'm like, yeah, I'll go really high. This will be a great idea. This landing there, not a whole lot I would have gotten off of it. I love this up smash. So, okay, a little too weak here. Ironically, maybe I should have, I don't think I could have charged it. But this is a spot where I'm seeing this Peach and I'm seeing where she's at and everything. And, if she jumps into me or something crazy, then I get a kill, which is great. But really, I just noticed this move is pretty big. And he's just not expecting a hit. Because, I'm facing the other direction and I'm shielding. And a lot of people will think that they're safe here and do stuff like whatever it is he was trying to do. I also thought that this would kill. Unfortunately, it probably misses out by very little percent. I'll calc that real quick. So, up smash, we're going to do hit 2. And it's the back hit, which has a better angle. Love that. And we're going to say Peach was at what percent? 107. So let's see. At 107. Yeah. So holding out, not quite going to happen. Even holding straight up, it does not quite kill. The weak hit kills at 112 at the earliest, and that's if they just do not DI at all. And if they do DI, it really kills not that much later. It kills at 118. That's just something to keep in mind. That now at 120, this up smash actually would have killed. So that's interesting that the DI really makes a tiny difference with this one. Like it's a 6% difference. And I think that's what you get when you have these moves that kill off the top is... even with good defense, doesn't make that much of a difference. Good. Up tilt, right? I love jumping up, fast falling, and then putting the up tilt out. Like, I don't know. Could I have gotten more of a punish? Let's see. I guess I could have tried to... I could have actually up smashed again here, right? I guess with this up tilt, it feels good. It's fast, but again, it just gets like 7%. Sometimes it's nice to get them to waste resources, but, great needles there. I can kind of run off very safely. You set up the needles again. He's smart enough to go lower, and that's not going to like phase him. But now he's going to do some other crazy shit. I'm sure he's going to like air dodge or something. That's why I jump back. Yeah, I'm like, I'll let you do whatever you're going to do. Okay, did not need to jump here, right? So I like this jab. I could have just probably turned around and jabbed. So instead of jumping here, let's see. So like right here, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like a jab would have just worked, right? Turn around and jab. I definitely had enough time. I tried to fall through the platform, didn't quite work. Oh, that's a bummer. How did that happen? So I'm just thinking, oh yeah, fall through Nair, right? Strong, fast move, and somehow look at that. That's nuts. And like at that point, it would have been weak and probably not killed, but that's crazy. So there's a nice forward tilt, but you got to be holding down after those. Again, the Peach is not going to like run up and down smash you, or at least I've never seen that. So here we go. We got ledge. Great little, I don't know what, and then there again. So this is what I was talking about earlier. We just fast fall too soon and end up not having the move come out at all. But let's see, had I hit that clean, With good DI, the Peach is still going to live. Is a bummer about that. But with not good DI, they actually would have died. So something to think about there. And again, they're rolling a lot in this pressure. So I think sometimes just like I'm behind her shield. Maybe she's going to nair out, but maybe unlikely. And like just waiting for something like this roll where this could have been a stock that I had taken. But I get the grab here. I'm not sure what that crouch was about, but again, overshooting was pretty good. And this is a bit of an air, right? So I'm running up. I needed to have up aired there. So, you know, I think I had the time to do it, but up air definitely kills. And unfortunately, fun fact, forward air does not. And they even say on commentary, as soon as they get the grab, like, oh, it's even now. Oh, forward air, up, it's even. Oh my God, wow, this is crazy, he lived. No, I knew as soon as I did it, and I was like, crap. So, you know, got to input the right aerial. Here's also a spot. I needed to threaten off the stage. Like, he keeps falling the ledge. He's done that in the Yoshi's game. He does that in this game. Or just walking up to the end of ledge and doing a forward tilt. Like, it has such great horizontal range. I guess maybe not here. Maybe nair, because at this point I can just kill him. But, you know, that's what I got to say about that. So, I'm a dirty needle spammer. I'm just going to spam needles. I'm like, look, eventually one of these is going to clip you. You're not really doing a whole lot else. And that ends up working, right? You're going to try to do some other Peach thing, right? Your Peach, as soon as you drop ledge, and I see that you have to like re-grab ledge again, it's pretty safe to put out a hitbox here. So I've set myself up. This is not a bad position, right? Like, come on. I'm getting my needles. I'm running away from Peach, right? We're kind of using the invincibility here. He hasn't really been turniping a whole lot, and I feel like I have not had any problems with the turnip. So, ooh, yeah, could have snuck under that. Nice back air. I'm like, come on. You can do this. Running up. Falling up air. Right. Dash out. Expecting something, right? A spot dodge. This would have been great for punishing a spot dodge, but he's a roller. He's been a roller the whole time. And I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, I should have just nared there. I'm like, wait a minute. I could have just nared there. Like, I wasn't at very high percent. I could have just nared, but I didn't. Unfortunately, he's at very low percent. So if I hit him, he can nair. So I do this a little conservatively, thinking he's going to try to like come in me and trade, right? Because he's Peach. He loves trading, especially in this spot with the percent difference. He'd love to trade. I do this weird like needle fake out. I actually think if I had done this straight into a nair, that would have been good. But he knows to kind of call me out there. He's like, I'm not going to let you needle me. So good idea. Just poor execution. Like, you got to quickly commit to the needle thing, and then get grabbed here. And all right, maybe I could have spot dodged. This is tough. We're getting forward aired. He's getting a turn up. He's going to throw the turn up. Turnup's not going to do anything because I'm just going to stall. Oh, and so we almost get some invincibility. So let's see. Hold on. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh wait, this is the first one. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Oh, I could have definitely gotten this out cleanly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I was like 1 frame late from beating out to that nair. But I'm going to die, and that is going to be the end of the set. And here I go, I jump, and I'm like, this is looking really bad. And I'm going to up B on stage and see what can happen, right? I think I'm doing a really good job mixing up between the two. I think that I could not have gone to ledge there, perhaps. But there I go. I guess I'm very far away. Doing the DI. Jump over that turnip. Let's see. Try to do something funky where I go straight up, but he just knows to back air me. And then I get sniped with the turnip. And then I am off to my next set. Good games. So that's that about that, I would say. Overall, a couple spots where if I'm pressuring Peach on the ground, I can kind of risk getting down smashed and just wait for those really reactable options like rolling or him like jumping away or something. I think that getting better at positioning my back airs when he's on a platform, like I did a good job of it, but I could be doing a better job. And not letting him just fall straight to the ledge. Like, I like that, holding my ground horizontally, but I think sometimes getting a little closer for some of those interactions wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And just generally, being able to play on the ground a little bit more. I think even on the platforms or on the ground, like being able to be grounded more often has a lot of benefits. So that's what I got to say about that. Hopefully you enjoyed. That's the end of this analysis. Goodbye.